With Mass Effect 3 making its massive debut, I thought it would be fitting to play on the airwaves the music from the game that started this awesome trilogy, Mass Effect 1. My name is Jeremy, and I host Listening to the Movies on 101.7 CIVL Radio, or on www.civl.ca. I play classic hits from great film soundtracks, and for today, I also play great game soundtracks. Since I cannot talk a lot about the source material on the radio show, I thought it would be fitting to give a more personal and informative view on a YouTube channel to coincide with the show. Mass Effect is a third-person sci-fi action RPG game released by Canadian developer Bioware in 2007. The game has the player control Commander Shepard, a highly recognized Alliance military soldier tasked with hunting down a rogue Spectre named Saren, who is basically an intergalactic super cop gone rogue, all the while uncovering a plot that threatens to destroy all life in the galaxy. While the game did have intense shootouts and adrenaline-pumping situations, the game's primary focus was the object of choice. Making every decision in the game, from simple conversations to taking down space terrorists, all affect the outcome of the game and your character. Choice begins right at the beginning of the game, when players get to create his or her own Commander Shepard. Either male or female, they also got to choose their looks and their origins. While these do not have a massive effect on how the story unfolds, it does change how characters interact with you and how you are viewed by the public. For my character, I had him grow up on the streets as an orphan, where he moved in and out of certain gangs back on Earth. He then cleaned up his act and proceeded to join the Alliance military, where he became the hero of the Skillian Blitz. He fended off a massive enemy force to defend this colony, and he has forever been honored with that fact. These elements come up time and again, just like many other choices the game gives to the player. The whole aspect of Mass Effect is that every choice matters and that it will have a lasting consequence. While it is not the first game to do this, Bioware has already done this with their highly popular Knights of the Old Republic game, which was released on the original Xbox. It is the first game to make every choice you make cross over 3 whole games. Bioware made Mass Effect with the intention of making a trilogy in which every single choice and action would cross over into the final chapter of the saga. This was a massive shoe to fill, and in the end, Bioware delivered. The choice options related to a morality system. If you were a good guy who saved innocents and never lowered himself to get the job done, you were a paragon. If you were a shoot first, ask questions later kind of guy, who did whatever that was necessary to complete the mission, then you were a renegade.
We can't endanger the mission for a bunch of...
I'm in charge here, Garrus, not you. I gave you an order and you damn well better follow it.
Understood, Commander.
My character dipped into both moralities. When it came to helping people or charming up the ladies, I was always a paragon because I thought that was the right thing. When it came to hostile situations involving enemies or people who posed to be threats, I went with the renegade action because I thought it was the right thing. That is what makes Mass Effect's IP so intriguing. You can actually play the game differently dependent on what you do in the situations that you come across. Along with meeting an array of creative and inspiring alien species, the game is always pulling you in by letting you explore this massive universe and discovering what lies beyond the stars. While the choice and morality systems are definite high points, the gameplay and technical aspects are something to be desired. The game was very boring with repetitive side missions, non-creative gun battles, and stupid AI opponents. There was also the technical problems with having textures constantly pop in and out. The Mako was one of the worst parts of the game because that meant you had to drive this stupid vehicle around a secondary planet with some of the worst geometry ever laid to find some building containing some bad guys who you would then kill, return to the Normandy, find another planet, and do this all over again. This was thankfully changed in Mass Effect 2 by getting rid of the Mako and making every side mission different and entertaining. I played the soundtrack that is composed by Jacques, Sam Hulick, and Richard Jacques. While the soundtrack is not superb, it still has a good rhythm. To be honest, it's not something you put all your attention into. That's just not possible. I tried to listen to the whole album once while working in the dark room in my photography class, and since I couldn't just whip out my iPod to see if the song changed, I tried to see if I could notice the change. Suffice to say, I almost didn't notice a thing. But that doesn't take away the value of it. In a nutshell, I really don't pay attention to the soundtrack, but I'm really thankful it's there. Now, for how I will rate this, I'm not going to give you some stars or thumbs up system. I'm just going to say if it's worth your time and money. Had you asked me about this game 4 years ago, I would have told you instantly to give it a try. But since its predecessors have already been released, with much better combat I might add, it doesn't really have any value anymore. While it is interesting to see the choices unfold, you really don't need to play it now because of the Dark Horse comic that was released with the PS3 version of the game. It was also released as downloadable content on the 360s. This comic gave you a 10-minute run of Mass Effect 1 while letting you decide the major decisions of the game. If you have a friend who has it, borrow it from them, but besides that, don't even rent it. Just play Mass Effect 2 or the new Mass Effect 3. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe or check out the other videos. If you want to hear the radio show, click on the link above at 8 p.m. Pacific Time every Thursday night, or just check out the podcast library on CIVL.ca. Thanks for watching.